Sing God bless America, and that hallowed stand beside and guide her through the night with the light from above.
Sunday was just like any other weekend Sunday at work.
I work here at Station 18, which is one of the busiest on the department and actually one of the busiest in the country. So, you know, a typical day we can see anything.
My evening that night was actually, for a Sunday night, it was pretty quiet. We don't typically say the Q word, but it was pretty quiet that night.
Oh, come on, baby, say.
It was routine day, just running our calls, taking care of the people in our area.
We had no idea or knowledge of the concert even occurring. We went on a fire alarm in that general area at around 6 p.m. And when we were driving back to the station, we actually drove past the concert venue.
Something that really stood out to me was the amount of attendees that stopped to wave, would give us a thumbs up, would bring their kids up to give us high fives out of the window.
That's when we knew that there was a large event going on.
Prior to that night, I'd never experienced or heard of the Route 91 concert, so that stood out.
But there's always large-scale events in Las Vegas, and didn't really think anything of it.
As you know, this job isn't always the same. Every day is different, but for us, even a different day is the same here. I mean, this is a busy station, we get a lot of calls here, so the day was normal, you know, training in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, and then we kind of do our thing during the day.
I laid down in bed around 9:30, and I was sitting reading.
Dinner was over, we'd already cleaned up, we were kind of winding down our day.
I was laying in my bunk and you know, doing like I normally do, kind of decompressing from the day.
Come on, baby, say. Yes, America, my home, sweet home.
I'm John Neal. I'm a firefighter paramedic for the Clark County Fire Department. I've been in the EMS system for probably 8 years down here in Vegas. I first started out with the ambulance company. I've been with Clark County for a little over 2.5 years. That was the first vacation day I ever took, was Route 91. The shift before, so 2 days prior, my girlfriend got tickets, free tickets to the last night, so I was able to go. So we were talking, remember specifically talking how to take vacation, because I'd never taken a vacation day or emailed chief or anything like that. I'd been to the first Route 91 that was here. It's a big country fest, country concert, so the bands come on, they play a little intermission time in between, and then the next act comes on. The day of was probably just a ho-hum normal day for me. We had a lot of my friends and family at the concert that night. Probably a total of 20 people was in my specific group that night. As far as the night going, it was basically a standard, you know, nothing crazy night. We were all hanging out, enjoying the music. Jason Aldean happens to be my favorite country singer, so my girlfriend and I were getting ready to go up front to the stage. We wanted to get close. Jason Aldean started, and I heard the initial rip of gunfire. It sounded like an Iraq war documentary, like the shots are popping off in the distance. Another string ripped off, and that's when all the lights came on the stage and everybody ducked and ran off the stage.
It was coded as a stabbing gunshot.
Notes are updated to 20 people shot.
Active shooter, 20 people have been shot at the country concert.
I was getting out of the rig, and when I opened the door and stepped outside, I could still hear the gunshots.
I can actually still hear the guy shooting.
We had no idea what we were going to be hit with.
we probably had 40 to 50 within 5 minutes.
We just started telling those people that could run, hey, just keep going. And that's just where we got a drove of people, just an endless amount of people, it seemed like.
And before I knew it, we had probably over 100 patients and one single ambulance.
They were coming in truckloads.
We just got overwhelmed with people with gunshot wounds.
And we just encountered a mob of people, you know, just tons of people running. And we just knew we weren't going to have enough ambulances right away with the amount of people that we had.
They just started flooding in 5, 6, 8 vehicles at a time.
We were boxed in. We had one police car with 2 officers, one of which was injured.
Our halls were just a sea of blood. There was so much blood. There was blood everywhere.
Vehicles were pulling up to us with patients inside the vehicles and offloading patients to us.
Basically, they could just hand us bodies.
80 to 90% of our patients were critical. Most of those were headshots, neck, back, chest, and stomach.
People had belts and stuff hooked up as tourniquets and, you know, whatever you can imagine.
Just the scope of how many patients and injured and dead and how big of an area this was.
You see stuff that other people shouldn't see.